Reserve, which is on the Oakey River, which is just behind me here. And it's given us the time to sit down and finally just reflect. Reflect on the journey so far, and also to reflect on why we're doing this. And so I wanted to take a moment to talk about the reasons why I started van life. And you'll have to excuse the bird noises. There is a flock of beautiful ducks, many galahs, cockatoos, and a murder of crows hanging around. Honestly, trying to film this monologue has been really hard. I first wanted to go to another location and it was occupied, which is fine. And then I sat down here and this whole gang of people came over and were like, "What are you doing?" And then I got bitten by a spider. I think I'm okay. So before I started this way of living, I was in a pretty typical corporate job, living in an inner city apartment in Sydney, and for all intensive purposes, it was great. It was exactly what I needed for that part of my life. I was in my 20s and I was there to be a part of my community, to explore my early career, and honestly, there's nothing I would change. The moment that led me towards van life, I have to admit, it's not original. I felt that post-pandemic, I wanted to free myself from this expectation and timeline that I had set up that was based on some pretty arbitrary societal standards. I realized that there are alternate ways of going about life. And I also have this, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a saying, but I guess it's an internal mantra that tends to only make sense to me. And it's that, yes, life is short, but also it's pretty long. And so you want to make the most of it because, you know, it's short and you only got one. But also that I have the opportunity to try different things and explore different avenues. So there was no specific catalyst for change. It was really a small collection of moments and feelings that led me to where I am right now. I honestly did love my job back in Sydney, and that might make it seem sort of weird that I left. But up until now, I've been so undeniably career focused. I left school, I went straight to university, completed my master's, got a job, and aspired to any promotion that might become available. And then all of that kind of just stopped. Like, I just wanted to hit pause. I knew that if I didn't take a break, I could potentially lose the passion for what I was doing. And what I'm looking for as part of this journey is to really reignite that creative flame. I'm looking to explore all the different realms for creativity. Primarily for me, that is my art practice, of which brings me so much joy. Just before I left Sydney, I participated in my first art market, and it was the most wonderful experience. And so I'm working towards setting up an online store to sell both my originals and some limited edition prints, as well as some other products that I've been working on. I've got this big box of stuff right here, ready to be put up online, so watch this space. I primarily create still life paintings. The reason that I really love still life is that what it's doing is capturing what is otherwise a really fleeting and mundane moment and making it something that is beautiful and worthy of keeping. I think that it really aligns with many of the reasons why I'm doing van life, is so that I can celebrate those small moments. Obviously, I'm looking to explore different means of creativity, and that includes YouTube and video making, of which I am completely naive and have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having so much fun anyway. Now, there were a few challenges getting to this point. I would absolutely describe myself as a very slow-moving, and I would like to think thoughtful, but perhaps more aptly described as indecisive person. And so the journey and the time that it took to get to this point right now was about 2 or 3 years of really researching and dreaming. And of course, throughout that time, it gave me the opportunity to doubt myself. But in all honesty, I think the timing was pretty good. I feel incredibly lucky to have a partner who is just as eager to try a different way of life, and to have somebody to share this journey with. Plus, he makes me breakfast and coffee every morning, and I get to enjoy them, sometimes with a view like this. My family, in the end, were fairly supportive. They definitely made sure that I was properly assessing all of the risks and making correct decision-making processes. They really just wanted me to consider the consequences of quitting my job, selling all of my things, and leaving. And I am very grateful for that. And I feel like it has helped me do this in a relatively measured manner. The appeal of van life for me, really, it was just about living differently, but it was also to help me think more outside the box by living in a box on wheels. I also want to just figure out where to from here, which incidentally is my biggest challenge of each day. So I'm definitely not quite at the whole future prospect stage of this trip, but it'll be interesting to reflect back on this when we maybe get to that stage. My current experience with van life so far, as someone who is 2 weeks in, is mixed. It's been really hard, and we've had a lot of things break down, and I'm really hoping that that was more of a iron out the kinks part of this journey. Hopefully we are mostly resolved and we can sort of carry on with more minor problems, ones that maybe I can fix myself. My goals as part of this lifestyle is to learn how to be more adaptable, and also to manage my thoughts and emotions in the face of challenges. And I think that that's something that is an important characteristic to have and to carry through. I want to learn to be more reflective and present. I know that that, again, is a challenge for everybody, and I'm really grateful that I've given myself the opportunity to look into that. All in all, I'm just super excited for what's to come. I'm aware that I'm in the very fortunate stage of this journey where it's early days and the prospects of what's to come are just too broad for me to even fathom. I would really love to connect with anybody who's going through a similar journey, whether it be van life itself or something that brings up a similar set of feelings and aspirations. I'm also very thankful for those who are already following along. I really just can't wait to share how this story unfolds.